and facilities are available online for the state to verify the need just by a click on your phone. And I do not want to believe that the state employs people in form and style of manage people who cannot do that simple thing if they want. Secondly, Your Honor, this is a clear abuse of the process of court. That the state can kidnap take their time and eventually when they produce the suspect before you, they can dilly-dally and say, give us time. So not including their own ID. Worship, it will be an embarrassment for this honorable court to join the conspiracy of concluding a job cooked to imperfection by the prosecuting and persecuting state. I would therefore invite you to decline the temptation of remanding a person whose medical condition has been placed on your record as worrying him, who has indicated that he has physical evidence of torture, after unlawful detention for those 19 days. Your Worship, kindly do not suffer that temptation. The accused has stated that medical evidence was taken by the police surgeon himself, their own medical officer. And I confirm they did it while at police. I asked if a medical examination had been taken of him, and it was confirmed. And the state having stated that inquiries are complete, I know with certainty they have that medical form issued by the police surgeon. I pray, one, that it be tendered and will be given a copy. Now, they have 2 copies. I have seen them. The national ID of the accused person has finally been availed online, and we are willing to share. and the NIN number is CM7 30 99 103, capital letters HM FD. Your Worship, in the unlikely event that you need to grant time to the state, we can concede to 1 hour. 1, to avail the state with physical or hard copies of the documents they want to have physical possession of, including the accused's national ID. They can also use that limited time to deploy some of the police officers who I see littering the compound of this court outside. There are many, and Your Worship, I'm conscious with my words. To go to Gombe and Kayenje. Gombe is 1 kilometer from here. Kayenje is 2 kilometers. And they verify what they think they want to verify. But when did this practice of we want to verify documents start, Your Worship? They have not justified it. That cannot be a precondition for bail. Otherwise, it places the state at a different plane, contrary to Article 21 of the Constitution. Which, as citizens, we feel, and I'm making this submission, we feel that we are prejudiced always by court. Treating state prosecutors as superior to accused persons. And this has 2 catastrophic effects. I'm concerned as an officer of this court. Number 1, erosion of the citizens' confidence in the court process. And therefore, abuse of court process. The second one, Your Worship, is congesting our prisons. This court should take judicial notice of the numerical catastrophe in our prisons caused by unwarranted remands. I therefore pray, Your Honor, that you decline to grant the adjournment. Proceed to consider and grant bail. But in the alternative, and without prejudice to that, may you find pleasure in allowing 1 hour to the state and I mean the state that did not give adequate time to the accused We even made copies of the documents. They respond, and you'll be pleased to grant bail. The rest of the documents have been given to them, except the accused's national ID, which we can share with them electronically on their phones if they permit, and we shall immediately proceed to delete their contacts after sending them. If their concern is the privacy of their numbers, we can even allow them to take screenshots. But be pleased. How else, worship, does this country reward the people that have served it? This person has been a member of parliament for this area for 15 years. I so pray, Your Worship.
Your Worship, we will take your prayer to have the matter adjourned to enable us make a response.
Matter is adjourned to 11th of August 2026. The Senate will to give their response, and disclosures to be made accordingly.
Musamugomedde fakamera kuzomwezi 11 omwezi ogw'omunaana oludda olwabwe basobole okuwa empapula ziraga empapula baloyazi bamwe bajja kubawa ebiwandiiko ebyo byagamuntu n'embaluwa za chairman basobole okuyitamu banukule okusaba okweyimbirwa omubaka. Sawa satu.
Well, there you have it. The magistrate, the judge, has adjourned the case of former Tambala County MP Muhammad Muwanga Kivumbi to the 11th of August, and that is exactly what we have as a proceeding. The defense team had prayed that there be no adjournment and that the Honorable Muhammad Muwanga Kivumbi be granted bail immediately, but that has not been granted by the judge in this particular case. We're looking at the Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi, who was charged with things that we are indeed yet to find substantiality to. Former Butambala County MP Muhammad Muwanga Kivumbi has resurfaced, was earlier at the Natete police station after more than 2 weeks in an undisclosed detention. Kivumbi, who went missing shortly after securing bail on terrorism charges, was reportedly dropped at the Natete police station by unidentified security operatives. His disappearance, of course, prompted a court petition by his lawyers and family, including the right of habeas corpus. But we're joined by Shamim Nabakoza, who is on this story. Shamim, let's get into the details of just how we got here in the first place.
On bail earlier on in the month. Now, what has been more critical in the court of law today, as Muwanga Kivumbi was arraigned before the magistrate here, are the questions that have been referred to as questions of torture that he told the court here he was able to show on his left arm to the magistrate here, saying that he was tortured. He was short of only showing what his back looked like, and that particularly spoke to how we are in position to look at how he will be dealt with. And we shall be speaking to his lawyers just minutes away from now, where we will be getting to understand particularly how he is in position to deal with the condition as of now. What we are certain of as of now is that he will be taken to jail. Again, he is referred to jail. He has been remanded until the 11th of August, this very next month, and that speaks to what we shall be looking at. And now we are going to listen to his lawyers to hear what their take is. There has been many more citations, especially on how he disappeared, but we are going to listen to them and get to understand.
Okuvanga ennaku z'omwezi 10 okutuusa olwaleero nga nnaku z'omwezi 29 bukuumi obumenya amateeka mu kkomera erimenya amateeka abadde mu kifo ekitali gazetted ekitamanyiddwa mu mateeka takkirizibwa kulaba looya we musawo we wadde ow'oluganda lwe nga ssemateeka bw'agamba. Omulamuzi ne tumutegeeza nti gavumenti yetupapizza olwaleero bamujje gye babadde bamukweka bo bajje babadde bagaanye n'okutegeeza kkooti okuva lwe twateekayo okusaba mu kkooti enkulu ennaku z'omwezi 16 omwezi gw'omusanvu gavumenti yagaana okwogera wa gyemukuumira. Abasirikale owa poliisi n'omusirikale w'amagye nga bamwegaana, naye olwaleero tebatubuulidde oba bamulonze ku kkubo okusobola okumuleeta wano, nga tebatuwadde na budde kunoonya mpapula kuba babadde bamanyi nti tetujja kusobola kuzifuna, naye tusobodde okuzifuna mu kaseera mpaawukaaga okuva e Butambala waabwe ne ku kibuga leader of the opposition omulamuzi ow'ekitiibwa n'olunaku olw'enkya talubawadde n'abaweera ddala obudde obuwera paka nga 11 omwezi gw'omunaana kwegaye kyatandika ng'okuwamba kakati kyekivuddemu rimande. Tubadde n'okweraliikirira kungi olw'okubeera nga munnaffe tumunoonya tetumulaba. Olwaleero wadde waawo ng'omulamuzi tatubuulidde komera mwamurimandinze mwamutwatute kwa limanda, naye waakiri tumanyi ow'okubuuza Dr. Johnson Byabashaija kuba yakulira amakomera gonna mu Uganda eyali afudde bw'alemala. Naye kyamukisa mubi nti kati tuteekeddwa mu mbeera ejaguza n'okumanya munnaffe gye bamusibidde naye nga sitiri musibe, kubanga tubadde tumanyidde nti abantu babasibira gye tutamanyi. Tubadde tumanyidde nti abantu bwe basibwa bakubwa. Twandyagadde nnyo okwegayirira abatusinga amaanyi nti ekituufu ky'amaanyi era tukkiriza bwe tuba tubadde tetulangiriranga nti tukkiriza nti gavumenti y'amaanyi, naye tugisaba kukolayo kikolwa kimu, waakiri kimu ky'amagezi kyokka. Tugambe nti nga bagoberera amateeka. Atagoberera mateeka talina ntobo kukwasisa mateeka. Munnaffe tumusaasira, tumusabira, era tujja kukola ebisoboka mu mateeka okulaba nga tumununula. Ebisigadde weesabire nga bw'osabira.
Counsel, I would like to hear from you. Your client just appeared in court. We do not know whether you know where he has been. You were in court earlier on, and the state did not have him. How did he appear in court?
Gwekyotegeeza nti aboogera oluzungu tebamanyi Luganda?
Counsel, we just want you to speak to us in that language.
Okay. We have not been able to establish where he's been all along because he himself doesn't know. He was blindfolded, taken, and dumped to a place that he does not know, where he received more than a fair share of the beatings until he bled profusely after being hit on the head. That's when they stopped beating him. The only treatment he received, he says, was only to stop the bleeding and no more. When their personal doctor came, he said, I do not know what to do with the skull because I need a CT scan, which has not been done, and of course which could not be done there. So to answer your question, I answer it in the negative. We do not know where he has been. For the rest of the proceedings you are able to follow, we presented sureties within this shortest time. We were able to urge out his case to justify bail. Unfortunately, there is a misunderstanding of the law by so some people think that the person must justify why he should be free. An innocent person is not required under the law to justify his freedom. So with all that, I think the Honorable Court, in its greatest wisdom, has adjourned the matter to 11th, basically another 2 weeks, close to 2 weeks of now quoted lawful incarceration. Very unfortunate.
Counsel,
Even that date will come.
for clarity, what is he charged with and what are the particulars according to what the state could have said?
Kivumbi is charged with managing an unlawful society. I will not take you into the technical intricacies because you know the English say when your enemy is making mistakes, you do not interfere. So for that reason, I will not disclose the technical intricacy with that. I continue to know it alone with my team. The second offense is inciting violence. Again, I will not discuss the technical intricacies of the particulars disclosed in the charge sheet. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you very much, Counsel Medad Lubega Segona. He is one of the lawyers for former Member of Parliament Muhammad Muwanga Kivumbi, who has been charged here at this particular court in Butambala, the Chief Magistrate's Court in Butambala, where we can be able to say that after 19 days he has finally been taken to the courts of law. What we can also be able to establish for you that the diplomat you see in the background in that particular room or that particular building established aside is where Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi is currently. One by one of his family members are in position to meet him as of now, but that's where for now he is, because he has been remanded to prison, and unfortunately we cannot be able to say which particular prison he will be remanded to, because the judge or the magistrate, we can say, was not in position to say particularly which particular prison he will be headed to, but he will be in position to return to the courts of law on the 11th of August next month at 9 a.m. and that's when the state will be in position to probably give a submission on whether they are able to substantiate the kind of records that have been given to the court, and particular records in regards to the kind of sureties that he has been able to present. He presented about 3 sureties. The leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, presented 2 residents of Butambala and also relatives of his here in Butambala. He told court that his health is not proper and that the medical surgeon of Uganda police had examined him while he was in incarceration because he had gotten wounded, he had gotten a challenge. We can say he had gotten a fracture on his scalp and he had blood oozing out, according to what he has been able to tell the courts of law. And so the individuals that had imprisoned him at that particular time where he was incarcerated, where he is not able to establish, he can be able to say that he was treated at that particular time because he was having a lot of blood coming out of himself on the scalp. He was able to demonstrate to the courts of law, and that's all we can be able to just to speak to as of now, because this is a matter of court until court is able to pronounce itself on a later day on particularly one, his remand, where he has been remanded, but also whether indeed he will give him bail or not. What has been given as reasons for bail first is that his rights were abused. He has been in illegal detention for over 19 days, and that is illegal because they said they filed the habeas corpus application before the High Court, which habeas corpus application was filed 7 days after his disappearance. And until today, the state had denied having him in custody, and the Honorable Medad Lubega Segona and the other lawyer, Samuel Moyezi, told court that even today in the morning, while they were in court, the state, especially UPDF and police earlier on, had told court that they do not have any information in regards to who is incarcerating him, to who has him in custody. But many of them have now been surprised that in the courts of law, it is Uganda police that said they had only stopped him at the roadblock at the opportune time when he was arrested by the different security forces, as had been seen and covered, that as of now, the Uganda police presented him to court. And the lawyers are asking, so who exactly handed over the Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi to Uganda police for them to be in position to hand him to court or to even charge him in court? And so the different details and different circumstances are said within. We can only reiterate that the call has been, the charge is one, incitement of violence, and another, managing crowds that are illegal. And those are the 2 charges that have been stated this afternoon here in Butambala. Different individuals have been here. The leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, he's one of the sureties, the former member of parliament for Butambala, Aisha, and also Aisha Kabanda, but also his family members, most of them. And outside, it is crowds of the individuals that are part of his supporters here in Butambala, but also individuals that probably feel for him and feel for his disappearance. Security has continued to be as tight as you can be able to see the individuals of security, the ones that are dressed in the JAT uniform, very different and difficult individuals there. But yes, that is what the current situation looks like, but also entirely in court. It was a calm environment in court because there was restriction on who accesses the premises of court, except the media and the political leaders, those that were necessary, those that had been said to be coming, particularly to have presentation in regards to having him either bailed out or family members. Those are the only individuals that had been in position to have that dealt with. So we can only now wait until the particular date, the 11th of August, when he's brought back to court, and get to establish, will he be accorded bail or will he not be accorded bail? If the state is not according him bail, then what happens? Because the state earlier on told court that they were done with most of their investigations. So they were done with most of the investigations while he was in illegal detention for those particular 19 days. And the lawyers, many of them expressed, disgruntlement with the fact that the court can entertain an individual who has been missing for 19 days and be able to even remand him further, yet he has been on an illegal remand away from his freedoms that and liberties that they get to enjoy as Ugandans and liberties that are stated by the Constitution. So Minutes from now, we expect that indeed the Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi will be coming out of that particular cell. Or we like to call it a cell because that's where any person who is charged here is brought. So we can only wait and see what particular time he will be taken out of that and where, to get to establish more information on where he will be remanded to. Because yes, the remand order has been given, but to where? So is it a preserve now of the Uganda prisons to choose where to take him, or it will be determined by the judge? What we are certain about is that many of the leaders of the National Unity Platform who are here are trying to establish that, and I'm certain that many of them are trying to find out. The leader of opposition, coupled with Honorable Aisha Kabanda, but also the Secretary General for the National Unity Platform, David Lewis Rubongoya, all have been here and trying to just ensure that they get to know particularly where the Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi will be remanded to, because the pleas for bail, as had been applied, have not yet worked because the state asked for more time to ensure they get to understand the circumstances under which he will be given bail, if he is to be given bail. And that's what the magistrate, based on to have the matter adjourned further until the particular date of 11th. The environment continues to be as is, only for the family or individuals that have been called in to meet him one by one, if they get the chance to meet him in that particular room where you see, which is particularly very much guarded, as you are in position to see. And we can only wait and see where particularly he will be headed. Will he be headed to Mitiana Road, to Kitalia Prison? Will he be headed to Luzira Prison? And that will also be able to tell at the later time. And as of now, that's what we can be in position to state to you, Tracy. I do not know whether there are questions that are coming in from the viewers of NBS television on the proceedings that have happened here at the Magistrates Court in Butambala, or even in regards to the charges, but certainly a matter that is before court cannot be discussed except for any other business that is related to the happenings and events that are around the courts of law here.
Indeed, like you said, it is a matter that is before court, and we will limit ourselves to what particularly we discuss about this. Many thanks for joining us with a detailed report of the proceedings at the Butambala court. Just a reminder for our viewers of what that has been. Former Butambala County Member of Parliament, Muhammad Muwanga Kivumbi, has been remanded to a yet to be disclosed location in terms of the prison after being arraigned before the Butambala Magistrates Court. The charges there are the inciting to violence, a charge of inciting violence, and you also have managing an unlawful society. Now, he has been remanded to August 11th when these proceedings will return to this particular court for further mention. But for also context matters, MP Muhammad Muwanga Kivumbi did resurface earlier this very day at the Natete police station after more than 2 weeks in an undisclosed detention. Kivumbi went missing shortly after securing bail on the terrorism charges that was reportedly dropped at the station by yet to identified security operatives. His disappearance had prompted a court petition by his lawyers and family, and today, 19 days later, that has happened, and he has been arraigned before the Butambala Chief Magistrates Court, and he has been remanded to August 11th. Details of this story will be coming up in our subsequent bulletins. Keep it NBS Television. Good afternoon.
Breaking news. Remember the songs that made you sing, the moments that made you dance, the voice that captured a generation. Now, Grace Nachimera is back on stage. Join us for the Power of Grace Live Concert, a spectacular evening celebrating the music, the memories, the journey, and the incredible voice that has inspired audiences for years. Friday, 11th September 2026 at Kampala Serena Hotel. Early bird tickets 130,000 shillings, ordinary 150,000 shillings, and tables 3